African American Tarot, Guidebook Introduction. The first man was African. It is common knowledge by now that the human race got its start in Africa. For thousands of years, the African continent was the cradle of mankind, and it developed great civilizations in many different ethnic groups. This is one of the reasons why we cannot speak of a single African culture if we want to use the term to indicate a uniform set of myths, legends, and cultural references, much less if we want to speak of a unified Afro-Western culture. The historic atrocities of slavery, followed by those of racism and segregation, have robbed the individual African communities of the direct ties to their original culture, without ever entirely breaking those ancient bonds. Afro-American culture, history, art, and mythology are defined by a common origin: Africa. This common origin is the cornerstone of this deck. The deck is based on a number of key concepts. Archetypes. Each traditional arcana is associated with an archetype that links the structure of the deck, designed in such a way as to be transcultural and thus independent of any specific African origin, culture, or ethnic group. Next is mythology. The cards are associated with one or more divinities of African origin, whose nature reflects that of the corresponding archetype. Third is tradition. The traditional tarot structure is kept. The esoteric symbols of Western culture are replaced in the most literal way possible with symbols of African origin. Fourth is association. Every mythical aspect is connected to an equivalent historic reflection, well defined in Afro-American culture. The idea here is that the reader can find two different levels of reading. The first and most obvious permits a reading of the abstract and general meanings proper to the myths. This gives the tarot sufficient detachment as not to oversimplify the intuitive path. The second, less specific reason enables a Western reader of African origin to discern a deeper bond between the images and myths of his or her own experience and cultural identity. This element of recognition is the emotional vehicle that brings energy to the consultation. A key to understanding Anansi's web. The query, 1, is the trap encountered by the querent along the way. The second card is the fear linked to this trap. The third are the dangers of the trap. The fourth card represents the opportunities connected with the trap. The way out is the fifth card. This represents someone's help. The sixth card represents someone's interference. The seventh, an unexpected event. The test is card 8, which represents the test to pass. Cards 9 and 10 represent the outcome. Card 9, the price to pay. Card 10, what the querent Card 10, what the querent will obtain.